Good
Hey
morning,
Sasha,
Lloyd.
how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, thanks.
I'm
Glad
feeling
to
better
glad to
today.
see you back. Get,
Yeah.
get back into the swing of things.
Hmm. I was sick for a few days.
Uh, well, hopefully you're feeling better.
It is, yeah, I am better. Just
Good,
still coughing.
good. Yeah, nobody else is on the call right now, but I looked over that form that you sent over, and you want to do 25 million next year.
25 million. Okay.
In
Oh,
production.
yeah, because I wanted to do 25 transactions. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, anything's doable. I mean, if that's what you want to do, then we just have to put together a plan and then, weekly, monthly, quarterly plans to achieve that goal. So you have to know how many people you're reaching out to on a regular basis and what you need to be doing. So I sent you an email. Just put time on my calendar. We can talk in more detail about that and get
You sent me an email today?
yeah, just a little while ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, probably. Actually, while we were on the call with Jeff, I sent it over.
Oh, I
So I
see.
sent it to the Sasha Realtor at gmail.com.
Oh, yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah, just put time on my calendar. We'll go over that marketing plan and list out all the action steps you'll need to take. Because you want to basically triple your production. So we'll have to triple what we do on the outflow side to get there, but definitely doable. Definitely. I have other
Yeah.
agents doing that, so it's definitely doable. Hi, Angela. How are you today?
I'm doing pretty good. I've had a little bit of a cold the last couple days, but I finally got some rest, so hopefully that'll help.
Yeah.
How's it going?
Make sure we don't during the holidays we're eating our vitamins and drinking our water and getting our rest and not burning the candle at both ends. That's that time of year. So but
Well, I burn the candle at both ends all year round, so
yeah, I
sometimes it
know you
just
do.
catches up
I
with
know you
me.
do. I know. So but we were on it. We had some conversation today with the AMs over at American Destiny. Your son was getting high praise, so they like him. So that's good.
Oh, that's lovely to hear. I'm sure that'll help him, be more enthusiastic. Of course, he's so enthusiastic with his first listing here. They just got the repairs completed and he's super excited he was working on his listing documents last night.
Okay, good, good. Yeah. Baby steps, then giant steps. So, but yeah, let's talk about, agent attraction today. Is there anything that you guys want to cover specifically? Any agents that you've been conversing with that you need some help getting over the finish line or just need some advice on what to say or how to approach?
I've been talking with a young lady out in Washington, and then I texted her to have her, maybe join the fourth, well, it was 4:30 Eastern yesterday, 1:30 Pacific with Jeff Russell's group, but she didn't respond. Maybe she was just busy.
Okay.
Her name is Jody. I had sent her information over to Larry because I've been talking to her. She's so unhappy where she is because her broker sends her a bill every time the broker has to give her any type of answers or support. She gets a bill for $50
Just for asking a question.
just for, yeah, just for a little
Oh,
brokerage support. Yeah, and
wow.
I think that's highway robbery. And it
Yeah.
comes with attitude.
Yeah. I mean,
So I want to get her out of there.
yeah, I'd go anywhere else.
Me too.
Yeah, I think sometimes agents they feel stuck or they feel like, well, it's so hard to move. I have to move my email and my website and all these things I have to do, but it really isn't that difficult. I mean, I did it in a day when I made the move. When I did, I was all excited. I was updating my KV core and doing all the things, my website and creating new URL, buying URLs and doing different things until I kind of found my groove. So having that backup and support really is a positive thing. I mean, you guys were on the call just a little bit earlier, and Michelle was having some challenges with Google, getting his Google account together, and then we were talking about URLs today, and just a lot of good information. And then Sasha brought up about the tickets to the theater, and just such a great idea that we've all probably had these thoughts in the past. It's just a matter of having a community where you can share this and we can share good ideas. Just like Kendra shared last week about the what she does with the pies and invites her base. It's not about having pies to give out to people. It's about having an excuse to call them and reconnect with them. And hey, how's it going? Haven't talked to you for a few months. I just wanted to touch base. And then that's the point of it. It's not the giving a pie. It's just having that excuse to stay engaged with people.
Right,
So,
yeah, and I know another agent who, she grows a huge pumpkin patch every year, and she invites everybody to come to her land and bring the kids to the pumpkin patch, and they get to pick out a pumpkin.
yeah, I mean, that's a phenomenal idea. And if there's a way that you can, piggyback on that, you just, buy some more pumpkins and just throw them through the patch and say, hey, pick out a pumpkin on me too. And it's like, those are just good ideas. And it's just engaging. And the holidays are such an easy time to do it because it's almost, it's almost like you're supposed to, sending out we send out cards like, from our family. My wife's in politics, so we send out several hundred every year. But it's just, we want to stay connected to those voters and those people that are in our sphere on a regular basis. So yeah, all good ideas. And then Jeff does the baseball games. I don't know which team he takes people to, but if it was the New York Yankees, I don't think he'd be able to afford that. But if you have a team like the Pittsburgh Pirates that you can buy tickets for $12 a piece, I mean, that's definitely doable. I heard the idea about taking people to Top Golf. That's another thought, or
Yeah,
having
that was,
bowling parties.
Joe Limo took him to
Yeah,
golf.
Joseph Limo, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, these are all just good ideas. So get them engaged. You get them on a huddle, get them on a sales meeting, an REO call, just anything where they can engage. And then whenever you're on the call with them, just introduce them. Say, hey, this is Sally. She wanted to jump on the call today, and then you can maybe have her open up and say something about herself. That's just another way to
Right.
let them feel welcomed to the community. Welcome.
I'm always confused as to which calls I'm allowed to invite them to attend.
Pretty much all of them.
Because, well, I know Jeff has the one REO one that is not for other agents, only the group.
Yeah, that's just that's the second Tuesday, that's the second Monday of the month.
Okay.
But that's pretty much the only call that he likes to hold confidential.
Okay,
But
okay, so
but
that
for
will
the-
clear it up for me a lot.
yeah, but if he knew somebody was on there that was a guest, he would he would hold back on some of the information. Honestly, the information he goes over is not. A couple times he's had some good ideas, a couple things like, this is something we don't want to tell other agents about because if it catches on, it's gonna get out there. But people act so infrequently on good information that even if you told them how to make $1 million, like a guaranteed way to make $1 million next year, if you follow this recipe, you will 100% absolutely make $1 million. Nobody would do it because either they're skeptical or they just don't want to work to do the work. So it doesn't matter what information you give people. Very few people are going to act on that information. There's a few that will, but very, very few will act on it. But good ideas are really the thing that we want to, try to help people with, because sometimes they get stuck in boxes and they get like, this, there's just no way out, or, I don't know if you've looked at the, I know Sasha did, but I created that Google form for marketing plan. And let me just go over.
Yeah, I
the
saw it in
question.
the newsletter and I saw it the other day. I was gonna fill it out and then of course the phone rang and I was doing it on my phone and
Well,
then
let
I
me just go, let me
forgot,
just
so
go over
I'll
what I
get-
have on here, because this is just, something you can go over with people. Like, what were your 2024 numbers? Number of closes, total production, total commission paid, total revenue share paid, other. What do you want your 2025 numbers to be? Same thing, closes, production, commission, etc. And then this is the impinging question you want to ask people. What is holding you back from achieving your goals? And then I have in there list 3 beliefs that are holding you back that may be a factor. For instance, lack of inventory. There's no REOs in my area. I don't have time. I'm already too busy. My sphere is not fine. Whatever it is. So these are the things these are the limiting beliefs that we all have that are holding us back. So the challenge is to overcome those limiting beliefs and to take a limiting belief and erase it and create a new belief. For instance, if the limiting belief is that there's lack of inventory in my area, then the other belief you want to take that, because that's just a limiting belief. That inventory has nothing to do with how many units you're going to sell in a year. I have a guy in Mobile, Alabama that sold 200 units last year. We didn't send him a single REO opportunity through ADR because we don't have a lot of inventory there, but he finds ways to sell homes. His name's Kelly Cummings. You might have even met him at one of the events. But Kelly doesn't have that limiting belief. Kelly's like, anybody that's selling in Mobile is somebody I can reach out to and have an opportunity with them. So that's his belief. So that's just the trick is turning limiting beliefs into beliefs that just eliminate that belief, because honestly, it's not true. It's just something we've started to believe because that's what everybody says, or that's what our experience might have been in the past. And then after that, we just work on tracking, and then what are you going to do to hit your targets? Calling your sphere, attending open houses, how many people you need to those open houses, calling investors, attending huddles, getting good ideas, having a quarterly event that you can invite people to. So those are just things that we, can help people get on their list. And then accountability is the last factor. So who's gonna hold us accountable for the things that we need to do, because it's hard to hold ourselves accountable. Even myself. I mean, Larry's my coach. So anytime I talk with Larry pretty much on a daily basis. On a monthly basis, we have a coaching call, and he goes over, Eric, what are you doing? What are you not doing? Because, I want to make sure that I'm achieving my goals. I've set goals as well. So, but yeah, that's the important thing is to get them engaged. Once you get a person engaged, and this can be somebody you met at an open house, somebody you did a deal with, somebody that's unhappy in their brokerage, and it's just a matter of getting them to take some action. That's the hard part, taking the action part. So, but yeah, get her on one of our calls for sure.
Okay, yeah, I'm looking for an objection slayer here for somebody says, well, I don't like rah-rah meetings. I don't feel like our meetings are rah-rah.
Our
I
meetings
just
are
feel
anything
like they're
but rah-rah.
supportive.
Yeah, we go over wins, but that's not really rah-rah. That's just, it's just my way and Jeff's way and Larry's way of getting you agents on the call to participate a little bit and to celebrate. Like, maybe something happened that you had like my wife isn't really into real estate. So if I told her, if I was still selling and I closed on $1 million house, it's like, oh, Eric, that's really great. It's like, she could care less. But if I told one of you guys that, it's like, Eric, that's fantastic. We know how hard it is. We know what you have to go through, how many open houses you have to have. So when you guys can share a win amongst your colleagues, it just gives you a forum to be able to do that. I don't push people for wins like Larry and Jeff do, but for the most part, agents are willing to participate in that process. And if I'm not getting anybody, and if I see you on the call, Angela or Saj, if I see you on the call, I'll say, hey, Saj, I know you had a close last week. Tell us about it. So, and
Right.
does anybody not say anything after you ask them that? It's like,
Yeah, I know, because you kind of, you put us on the spot, and I'm willing to be there for you when you're stuck in a moment like that. Hey, Dalton just walked into my office. Eric, would you mind sharing with him what you just told me at the beginning of the meeting?
oh, how the asset managers can't stand him and how, no, just kidding. No, Dalton, they get high praises from the asset managers today. We had a meeting with Darren and the asset managers, and they're just saying how nice it is to work with you. And
Oh, great.
so well done. Keep up the good job, and let's get you some more assets.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Eric. That's great to hear.
Yeah. So yeah, you have a good mentor, so that helps too.
I couldn't agree more. I have the best.
Yeah. But yeah, that's why we do that. So our meetings are not rah. I mean, I went to Tony Robbins last week. That's rah. That's
Well, yeah, I mean, I've been doing Tony Robbins, like, Zoom stuff, forever and ever. I've been listening to his back when there were cassette tapes back in the day,
I have too. Yeah.
and I mean, honestly, I didn't go because it was New York. I don't like being in big cities too much. I mean, Dallas, I can just go and stay in the hotel. I'm cool, but big cities, I grew up in a city. I like.
Yeah, you would have loved Newark. It was definitely it was the experience. It was, yeah, it was different. But next year I heard it's in California, so we're going to try to get a group to go next year.
Yeah,
I'm
and
not
that'll be
sure which
closer to
part.
Washington too. So
Yeah,
I'll try
but
to.
you got to do all the jumping, and you got to engage. I mean,
All right,
it's
you haven't seen me in action, Eric. I can do that. I love to dance around. People always go,
yeah,
"What?" But I do. I love
yeah,
dancing and jumping and getting excited.
yeah. The first day I'm like, with the arms crossed, it's like, why am I here? And it's like day two came around. It's like, you know what? If I have a choice. I can either, pretend you not want to be here, or I'm here. Let's just give it 1,000%. And I did, and it got much better. And I'm a raving fan now. So
Well, you're a chiropractor. Move it or lose it, Eric, right? You got to move your body
yeah,
in ways you don't normally move it, so you don't get
no,
stuck in that
that's
robot
exactly it. And
way,
if you
right?
listen to some of his seminars, there's a reason why he does all that. It's not to get you to jump up and down and be excited. It's because to get your body into action, you have to create action, and that's what
Exactly.
he's doing. That's what he's doing
Right.
with everybody.
Yeah,
So
you got to
there's
get
a
their
method
mind, body,
behind
and
all of it.
spirit.
What's that?
You got to get their mind, body, and spirit.
Yeah, absolutely. And plus, he's talking to 15,000 people. That's not easy to do. Um, and I got it after the first day, but I wasn't getting it the first day. But anyhow. So what else can I help you guys with today? I have another 10 minutes or so. Is there anything else that you guys wanted to discuss or go over? Sasha, you have anything else on your agenda today?
Was that the first time you've been at Anthony Robbins?
That was the first time in live, yeah. Have you been
Wow.
before?
Oh, a long time ago when I just
Okay,
started the real estate career, maybe in
okay.
2000, early 2001 or two. Yeah,
So
I
what did
did.
you think?
Oh, I love it.
Oh, good,
I
okay.
I mean, I follow whatever he has to do. The environment is so lively. Uh, I like that. Actually, it motivate you. So you said next year they're gonna come to California?
That's what's on the schedule. I don't know which part of California, but Larry, and I don't think they'll make an announcement for a while, but Larry's very close with his rep, and his rep usually lets him know a couple months beforehand where it's going to be, so that Larry can get his Airbnb secured and all that stuff. So once we know, we'll reach out to you guys and let you guys know too. We had 15 show up in Newark, which I'm glad it was in Newark because it's close to me. It was easy for me to get to. But honestly, I flew anyhow, so I would have spent an extra $100 to go to California on a flight. So it didn't matter. It'd just be more time. But yeah, we'll definitely try to get a crew. If we get 50 people, they'll save us seats without us having to do it, which was the biggest hassle because we had to get there early, and try to save 15 seats isn't easy to do. Everybody's trying to get to those front rows and stuff.
Mm.
So,
Mhm.
but
So,
anything else? Go ahead.
yeah, I do have questions. Remember, Stephanie?
Yes.
Stephanie. Okay. So I reached out to her several times. I think, like now I would say 4 times. Okay. So every time she say yes, she gonna meet with me, and then last minute she always come up with an excuse, a reason.
Right.
So for the fourth time, I feel like, I don't know, it's worth my time to follow this person and keep inviting her. I invited her to my open house like a few times. Remember, she said well, actually, she already got her license to be a lender. So
Yeah.
that's why I gave her idea. I mean, you're so new to lending business. why don't you come to the open house and you meet the buyers? That way you can connect and convert it into to be a lender. So you need to reach out to these buyers. She said, oh yeah, 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 good idea. So the last time we had conversations, she's supposed to come in September, and then she bailed out again.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah, I would leave the door open, but I wouldn't, you just always have an open door policy with her, but there's no sense in, continuing. After the first time that she stood you up, I wouldn't even given her a second chance. It's maybe a second chance, but not a third. And she's a very nice person. She's very pleasant, but she's just not motivated. And motivations, that's half the battle. I mean, it's getting people to execute on ideas. I mean, there's a lot of great ideas floating out there. There's a lot of, if we all did half of what we thought, we would have made tens of millions of dollars, but we only act on the things that we're comfortable acting on. So that's part of it too, is getting us all out of our comfort zones to be able to do a little bit more. There's people in the waiting room. Well, Larry, you want to jump in? So it's just a matter of allowing us to get to those next levels. But yeah, as far as Stephanie, keep a door open, but there's so many other people you can be engaging with. Every one of those 7 closes you had last year, you want to invite that person to have a conversation, to have coffee, to come to one of our huddles, one of our calls, one of our discussions. If you could add half of those people, that would be 4 more people to your agent count. And if all those people capped every year, you're talking about an extra 12 grand a year in revenue share. So it adds up pretty fast, but they have to be willing to engage, and they have to be willing to do something. So
I just feel I didn't have enough credibility to talk to these people. I mean, not to like
Sasha,
of
you're a
course,
$7 million a year producer. What the heck are you talking about? The credibility.
That's more than most. Like, that's all the credibility that you need, because most people don't touch that.
Oh, I just want it to be like 2025. I want to be an icon agent, so then I can talk to a lot of people. That's how I think.
Well, that's fine too, but you don't negate your successes. I mean, $7 million is nothing to sneeze at. I mean, I've never done 7 million a year. Probably only a couple percent of the agents out there have done that kind of volume, and to do that year after year after year. Now, I know you're in a market that commands higher prices for properties, but still, I mean, it's not easy to sell $1 million property. I think it's a lot easier to sell $100,000 property, quite honestly. But I'd have to sell 10 properties to year 1 just to do the same volume. So yeah, don't ever negate your successes. You celebrate your successes. Can you get better? Sure, but it doesn't mean that you have to beat yourself down to get there. It's we'll pump you up, and then and that's all you have to tell people is, look, I'm doing $7 million a year. Would you like to be doing $7 million a year? My goal next year is 25. Would you like to be partnering with me to help us get to do 50? And that's where you guys can be.
And I think that's Sasha, I would say that's really common, especially like you're successful. And this is a detrimental trait for a lot of people that have had success in their life, is they want it to be perfect versus getting progress, right? So when this happens, then I'll do this. When I hit icon, then I'll recruit. When I do this, and if the first part never hits or it takes years, then you lost all of that progress, versus using the lessons and conversations as a learning experience along the way. Like, that is where you will get the most growth. And there's no good, there's no bad, there's no failure or success. It's just learning and creating a better system, learning and creating a better system. And the faster you can get through that, the more success that you will have in production, right? People say, oh, when I learn a script, then I'll start cold calling. Well, you're never going to learn the script like the best way to do it is to get on the phone and call 50 people a day. Like that is how you learn and you feel how people are going to react to you and stuff like that. So for whatever that's worth, I love you regardless, just the way that you are, but there are some growth opportunities there as well.
Yeah, just to, Sasha mentioned having been to Tony Robbins in the past also, and one of the things I read about him or listened to one of his tapes last week was the fact that when he started public speaking, didn't feel like he was very good. So what he did is he did 3 speaking engagements a day. And so he was doing, 50 times more than anybody else out there. Now, I feel like he's very competent and very accomplished in his ability to communicate with other people, but it's not because he waited until he was perfect to do it. It's because he did 3 a day. And, he was always refining and getting better at what he was doing. So, you'll do the same thing. The more people you talk to, you just fail your way forward. Every time you say something and you say, "Oh, I should have said it differently." Well, just say it differently the next time you say it, and that's how you just get better and better and that's how you really get good at scripting. Practicing is good, but practicing and just doing it a lot of times is even better. Just so you guys know, next week we're not going to have this agent attraction call because we're going to our asset managers for American Destiny are going to be on this call talking about Bid on Home. So we're going to have an agent call, and I'll get the information out in the newsletter. But I'm just letting you guys know about it. Sort of like you're the first people to know about that. So next week at this time, we're going to be talking to Tanya and Neil and all those guys at American Destiny about Bid on Homes. And we're going to try to do that on a quarterly basis. But before we end off, anything else you guys want to talk about on an agent attraction vein? Anything else you guys need to go over, want to go over today?
Yeah, I probably would like to take your advice, like, those closing with the other agents. I did kind of, invite agents to one of the event, like, Michael, that's Jeff coaching with Michael Hellickson event.
Hellickson, Club
Yeah,
Wealth, yeah.
But it's just too far from us. I guess like an hour drive, but I was willing to drive, just to connect with them. Well, actually, I did invite them to one of the Jeff event. He had that in our area, like early this year, like probably in March or April. I invited a few agents, but nothing related to EXP, of course, at that time. So I need to invite them to participate in our meeting. Maybe one of your, like, Friday, Larry, mastermind group.
Absolutely. And what I would do is, this next one is on Tony Robbins. Like you can ask me about the topics, right? Because you don't want to invite them for it just to be like last week's would have been terrible, right? Because it was only about EXP. So you want to do these general type sessions like the REO market, or, next week we're talking about Tony Robbins and the biggest takeaways. That will be a good one, just focused on positive growth and stuff like that.
Oh, next week, next Friday, not this Friday, right? Okay, yeah, that's right.
Yes, next Friday. Yeah, we're not going to have one this Friday. This Friday, we'll take it off the calendar, but on the 6th, it will be a Tony Robbins recap of the biggest takeaways that we learned and how we can implement and get the most traction possible.
Okay, I will try to invite a few people, see if they're gonna attend on December 6th, right? The Friday. Yeah.
Yeah, what you want to do, Saul, is just invite them, but then about 5 minutes before the event is text them the link one last time and find out if, in that text say, hey, you're going to be able to be on the call because I'm going to be on the call with you. And then you'll see that they're on the call. We have a lot of people who go to Larry's call that are not in our group. They just like the information, and but we're eventually they will be in our group. But right now they haven't taken that next step. But that's sometimes people just need to hear something a multiple number of times before they take that next step. But if they never hear it for the first time, you know, they'll never know what they're missing. So we want to make sure that they're able to engage as much as possible. I have to run, guys, but if there's anything else you need, send me an email. Sasha, I sent you that email. Get on my schedule so we can talk about your battle plan for 2025, and then we can work out a schedule as far as holding you accountable for all that stuff.
Okay, I will. Thank you.
And if you guys have any other questions, you know, just text or email me or call me later today. I have a call I have to jump on right now. So, all right, guys. Have a good
Bye.
one.
Have
We'll
a
see
great
you.
holiday. If I don't
Thanks,
talk
Thanks,
to you.
Nancy. See you, Angela. See you, Dalton. See you, Larry. See you, Matt.
Hey, guys.